Welcome to the DAC Podcast. My name is Lydia Miller, and in this podcast, I'm talking through the things that I'm learning in an MBA program and how I'm applying that information to my small business. Thanks for joining me. Now let's get started. Welcome to the DAC Podcast. If you are listening, then I know that you are an ambitious business owner who wants to grow her business and learn more about how business works. So thank you for joining me today. If you're new around here, I want to let you know about a few things. First, if you aren't following me on social media, then please do. I mainly post on Instagram and on Insta stories, so you can find me at DAC_balance_LLC. Also, please come and join our community. It's a group of female business owners who are looking to grow professionally and personally and are there to learn from each other. So feel free to join. You can join me by going to my website at lydiagmiller.com, and on the right-hand side, click Join the DAC Community. We would love to have you. Now let's get into the content. Okay, so in episode 7, we talked about different ways to create a strategy for your business. And those ways were just the generic strategies, and some were strategies that we don't want to have, and some were ones that we do want to have and that we want to implement in our businesses. So if you haven't listened to that episode, be sure you go back and listen to it because it'll really give you a good idea about defining who your business is and what strategy that you're going to take. Most of it is information that you probably already know, but I found that by listening and learning from someone and having them break it down, I can make more progress in my business because I know the steps to take. All right, so today we're going to answer the question, who are you in your industry? And I really do think that everyone has a place in their industry and a client to serve that only they can serve, and that there's room in the marketplace for all of us. But I think that people don't always know what lane they should be in or how to stay there. And the comparison game is really strong, and that only hurts you in your business. I put on the DAC Instagram account the other day this quote, which I think is so true. And it says, "The fastest way to failure in business is to be just like someone else." And so today we're going to look through 4 different types of business owners and really business personalities, and then decide which one your business is and how to stay in that lane. Okay, so the 4 types are the prospector, the defender, the analyzer, and the reactor. Now, first is the prospect or the prospector. All right, according to Google, the definition of a prospector is the possibility or likelihood of some future event occurring. So if your business is the prospect business, then they are a business that is always looking for the possibility or the likelihood of a future event happening. And I'm sure you can think of a company like this. And a company that is always changing, they're highly committed to research and development of new ideas or new trends or fashion and keeping up with all of those types of things to stay on the cutting edge. And they are always on the cutting edge of everything. And so you look to them to see where the industry is going. These are kind of like the trendsetters as well. And they spend a whole lot of money on it as well. And a lot of time and energy as is what they use to stay on the cutting edge of all of this. So you look to them to see where the industry is going, and they spend a whole lot of money on it. So some of the big companies in this industry are like pharmaceutical companies. They're trying to be on the cutting edge of medicine, creating new treatments and putting current technologies out of date. You read about them in magazines and online about all the crazy things that they're doing. So if you want your business to be a prospector, then hear me out. You don't always win if this is the role you want to take on. A few of the downsides is that to be on the cutting edge, it takes time, money, energy, effort. You have to be on the right trend. People have to embrace what you're offering them. You have to be very compelling to them to make sure that they know exactly what you're offering is what they want. And you have to be really, really good at this. The payoff isn't always there, which is the hard reality behind this. I'm thinking about right now about different direct sales businesses and about ones that offer like fashionable things as well. So even in direct sales, every different consultant is their own business owner. So some consultants are going to take on this role of the prospector. They're going to be always on the cutting edge of not just what their company is offering, but what is being offered in their industry as a whole. So if they offer any type of let's say, fashionable items or things that you would use, the prospector in this industry is going to try to be on the very cutting edge of the fashion. They're going to watch New York Fashion Week, or at least find the trends for that. They're going to know, all right, this season purple is the color, or lilac, or blue, or navy, or whatever it is. They're going to be on the cutting edge of all of those things, telling their customers about it, and they're going to attract customers that want to be on the cutting edge. They're going to attract the people that want to be informed of those types of things and want to buy things immediately. That's how they're going to make their sales, and that's what they need to be telling their audience, is that they're on the cutting edge, that they are always finding the new trends, that they're keeping them up to date. That is how they're going to do best in their business. Okay, so the second type is the defender. Now, this company has a mature product, or they're in a mature industry. So like the name sounds, they are just trying to defend the market position that they have and their customers that are loyal to them. And they will often do this if they have a low cost, or if they have something about them that's different and that no one else can copy without being an obvious copyright infringement on them. So if you're in a mature market or industry, don't try to copy another company and think that you're going to take enough market share from them to sustain your company. It's not going to happen, and customers are going to see through it. I'm thinking right now about, bookkeeping and accounting, which is a mature industry as far as that goes. Pretty much every company sees the need of a bookkeeper or an accountant, and there's not a lot that you can do for the process to make it different. One of the strategies for these companies is going to be just to keep the current clients that they have and to use whatever unique differentiation that they have to help them stay on top of the market. So for a CPA firm, one of those things would be that they have a CPA, and maybe not all of the companies have that. Or maybe, like me, I'm getting an MBA and I'm a bookkeeper, so I would use that as a different position to help businesses. Or maybe there's a company that for bookkeeping that they only serve a certain type of clients. Maybe they only serve restaurants, or they only serve nonprofits, or there's only one type of client that they really attract, or they only serve creatives. And so if you have a business in a mature industry, then you need to see what little groups of people that you can help and what little niches that you can carve out for yourself to create business for yourself, basically, and how to attract people and to be able to speak directly to them to know that they are your target audience and your target business. You can't copy other people's ideas if you're in a mature industry either, or if you're in a defender industry, because people are going to know. People are going to see that you're trying to do exactly what someone else does, and you're not going to do it as well because you are not the original. If you're doing something better, it's because you created that uniquely for yourself based on your own strengths, talents, experiences, your story, your work experience, all of those things. So you have to do something that is unique and creative to you, even if you're in an industry that is not, carved out brand new that you're creating, like bookkeeping or accounting or something like that. Okay, so the third type of business is the analyzer. And this type of company is not going to be the industry leader like the Prospector company is. And this type of company is looking to differentiate itself by some way. So an example would be restaurants. In this example, I'm pretty sure this example was given in class, just to give credit to my teacher. So think about restaurants. You can get a burger at almost any restaurant you go to. We live on the coast, and even when we go to seafood restaurants, I didn't used to care for seafood at all, even though it's terrible because we live right in the Gulf. So I would get a burger pretty much anywhere we went. So think about getting a hamburger at a restaurant. Really, it's how they market that and what position they take that's the difference. It's really not, sometimes it's the meat, sometimes it's the bun, those types of things. There's different variations on it, but a burger is a burger is a burger. If you order a hamburger, you're going to expect, 2 buns, 1 meat patty, and toppings on it. That's really not going to change as a framework. But what does change is the ingredients and how it tastes and things like that. Okay, so you think about the different companies that serve hamburgers. You have your fast food restaurants. You have Wendy's that say that they serve everything fresh, never frozen. You have McDonald's that's super fast and kind of in a weird way addicting, so you're not quite sure what they're actually putting in there, but it's kind of the classic, you're going to McDonald's for a burger. You have Crystal's, which I think is gross. My husband likes it. They have the sliders burger type, so they're a little bit different. They're a little bit smaller, I guess. And then After you get through all of the restaurants that are, fast food places, then you can go to a sit-down restaurant and get a hamburger. So we have this place in Pensacola called the 10 Cow, and you can go there and you can create your own burger. They give you a menu and you just check off all the things, all the type of bun that you want or the meat that you want and all the toppings and everything, and you can really customize it to exactly what you want. And there's another sit-down restaurant called Union Public House. They don't just serve burgers, but the ones that they do are really, really good. It's one of our favorite restaurants to go here in Pensacola. And at all of these different restaurants, there's a different feel, there's a different atmosphere. They still sell most of the same types of food, but none of them are going to be the industry leader in hamburgers completely and have 100% of the market. I guess you could say McDonald's does because they do have a huge market share, but they still don't have every single person okay with eating at McDonald's. There's still going to be some differences there. And so when you're an analyzer in this business, so when you have a business that has a product that you can change, the analyzers are the ones who have taken a different angle on creating a burger. So they have a market share because of that. If this is what your business is, think about the strengths and what people buy most from you. So maybe if you are the 10 Cow, maybe people buy, and I don't know this for a fact at all, maybe they buy a certain type of meat because they like it, and that's the only place in your area that sells that type of meat for the burgers. So that's the golden egg for you. You have to perfect that, and you have your ideal customers flocking to you. If they want exactly what you have, and if you advertise that and market it, then people will know where to go for that specific product that you're selling. Okay, so the fourth is the Reactor, and this is just what it sounds like. It's a company that just reacts to what the industry is doing instead of trying to get ahead or be different. And this company doesn't want to be number one in their industry. They're just trying to survive. Make a profit. Survive sounds terrible, like they're just trying to meet payroll. They might be profitable, but they're not trying to expand by leaps and bounds and open up new stores and everything like that. They're just happy with where they are, which is fine. And this company will sit back, relax, and let other companies do the research and watch and see what works and doesn't work. And then once they find out what works, then they will also move into that industry. So think about cell phone companies that create cell phones. 10 years ago, it was basically only the iPhone, with Apple, and then I guess Samsung came along later, and they're leading the way really for smartphones. And so now you can get an off-brand cell phone that's a smartphone, which basically, I don't even know if you can really get flip phones anymore at all because everyone's decided that they like, I guess my husband's grandfather still has a flip phone, but there's still some people that have those, but for the most part, everyone's going to want a smartphone. And so store brands will typically use a strategy. So once they look and see what's on the shelves and what's coming out that's new, they'll look and see what is taking off and what's not. And the things that are taking off and sustaining, they'll typically create a store brand version of this to help bring in profits from their store. And if it picks up and if it sustains, that might be a great opportunity to create a similar product without imposing on their trademarks or patents. So I want you to think about your business and think about the industry that you're in. And I want you to decide if you want your business to be, let's say, a Reactor. Maybe if you are in direct sales and you don't want to put the time and effort into being the prospector and seeing what's new, what's trendy, all the cutting edge things that are coming out, you'd rather just wait and keep your customers happy. The people that aren't going to change quickly as well. Maybe you serve those types of people that want to just enjoy what they've been using and not really move, get too crazy ahead of themselves until they've really seen how a product can prove itself out. Maybe that's the lane you need to stay in and not worry about being on the cutting edge and finding all the brand new things that are coming out. And so maybe you need to look at your business and decide, have you been spending your time and effort on an area that you shouldn't be spending your time on? Have you been spending your time being a prospector instead of just being a defender in your own business? Or should you be a Reactor and let other companies absorb the high cost of R&D? So if you are in our Facebook group, then I want to hear from you. I want you to comment on the post and tell me what your business is and what position that you're going to be taking for your business and how you're going to use that to grow. All right. So if you're listening to this when it releases, then I am about 3 weeks out from finishing another semester. I'm taking economics and finance right now, and I'm ready to move on to my summer classes and finally graduate in December. I hope you've heard something here today that helps you focus on what you should be doing in your business, and I've heard something that will help move your business forward in the next few weeks. All right, and don't forget that I would love to work with you. I offer strategy sessions for business owners who are looking to grow but need a second set of eyes on their business to help them see the big picture. If you're interested, then please email me at lydia@dacbalance.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I hope you have a productive week.